Hello, this is Ruth Hollingshead, trustee for Sight for Wight, welcoming you to this week's Talking News.
Sight for Wight Talking News for Friday the 1st of May 2020.
Alison Holbrook reading from the Isle of Wight County Press. 30 million happy returns to Captain Tom. National hero Captain Tom Moore celebrated his 100th birthday on Thursday and thanks our readers for helping him raise almost £30 million for the NHS. The former soldier, whose incredible fundraising efforts during the coronavirus pandemic have made him a national treasure, took time out to deliver a personal message to readers who have donated to his cause. As he prepared to read goodwill messages in some of the 125,000 birthday cards sent by well-wishers from across the globe, Captain Tom said, "I am so deeply and sincerely grateful to the tremendous British public, and especially the readers of the paper for their help. You have shown me so much love. When we started off with this exercise, we didn't anticipate we'd get anything near that sort of money. It's really amazing." Captain Tom, who was born in Keighley and now lives in Marston Mortain, Bedfordshire, hoped to raise a few £1,000s for the NHS by walking 100 laps of his garden before his 100th birthday. His efforts proved an inspiration to people coming to terms with the coronavirus pandemic, and donations poured in from all over the world. With the total standing at almost £30 million last night, the former army officer who served in Burma during the Second World War holds the record for the largest sum ever raised by an individual charity walk. He also holds a second world record as the oldest person to have a #1 single in the UK charts, after recording You'll Never Walk Alone with singer Michael Ball. And he isn't finished yet. Looking forward, Captain Tom told us, "I'd like to say a big thank you to all the readers who have sent me birthday congratulations. The tremendous British public have shown me so much love. You have repurposed and re-energised me, and for that I will be forever grateful. But not as grateful as the millions of people who have taken hope and inspiration from your incredible achievement, Captain Tom. Many happy returns."
This is Brian reading an article from OnTheWight. Historic England launches Picturing Lockdown, an open call to share your experience of lockdown. Historic England is calling on people across the South East to share images that document their experience of 7 days in lockdown. 10 contemporary artists from across the nation, including 2 based in the South East, have also been chosen to produce special images over the week. From rainbows in windows and star jumps on balconies to explorations of your local area, Historic England is asking people in the South East to share images via their website that show how we're all facing the challenges of lockdown, self-isolation and social distancing. Running from Wednesday the 29th of April to Tuesday the 5th of May, the aim of the Picturing Lockdown project is to create a unique and reflective record of a week across the nation during this extraordinary moment in history. Historic England wants to spark a conversation about identity and its connection to history and place. We are facing one of the most extraordinary moments in living memory. During this time of necessary lockdown restrictions, we are asking the public and some of our most talented contemporary artists to help us record history while being careful to abide by the government's social distancing measures. We want people to show us their experiences of lockdown, how places local to them have transformed, communities have come together, and life has changed for us all. These challenging times are encouraging us all to pause and reflect upon our relationship with our surroundings. We hope this project inspires creativity and reflection, allowing the public to create a unique time capsule for the future. The archive. 100 of the images submitted by the public and artists will be chosen to enter the Historic England Archive to provide a record for the future. Of the submissions from the public, the 50 most evocative, informative and inspiring images will combine with 50 works from 10 contemporary artists into a collection. This will be catalogued by the Historic England Archive and will be made freely accessible online. This is the first time the public have been asked to capture a moment in time and save it in the Historic England Archive of over 12 million photographs since the Second World War. Historic England is asking the public to keep to social distancing measures when taking part in this project and only go outside for food, health reasons, or for work if you cannot work from home. News shared by Fran on behalf of Historic England.
This is Chris reading an article from OnTheWight. Over 800 more scrubs made from scratch by Isle of Wight dressmakers. As well as the For Love of Scrubs Facebook group, which OnTheWight featured a couple of weeks ago, there is another army of dressmakers doing their bit to help in the fight against coronavirus COVID-19. The Mountbatten Hospice and NHS Scrubs Isle of Wight group, created by Karen Robb, has a fantastic team of over 120 dressmakers making scrubs for the community. Karen told OnTheWight, "I have many friends working within the NHS and care community and wanted to do something that helped them directly. As I cannot do my normal work at the moment of teaching sewing or open my bridal shop, the Dawn Ellie Bridal Studio, I instantly thought to use my own skills and those of my students to make what was required." Karen goes on to explain. Katie Mew of the Mountbatten Hospice approached me to see what I could do for them, and so we began the process of gathering fabric donations and volunteer sewers. Scrubs made by the Mountbatten Hospice and NHS Scrubs Isle of Wight group. The fabric donated has been a mix of duvet covers and sheets, as well as cotton, polycotton fabric. The brighter and cheerier, the better. The response was astounding, and every day more people get in touch to help in some way. The group have a team of drivers to ensure nobody has to leave their home, a group doing admin, and people to assist in packing and organising, Karen explained. The surprising result of this has been the response from the wonderful sewers who have found this to be a help to them. They feel they are directly helping those who are at risk whilst being able to stay home and stay safe. We also have a group on Facebook to help them feel connected to the rest of the world. Friendships are being made, rekindled, and they inspire and motivate each other. It is as important to them as to those ultimately we are helping with the scrub making. She finished by saying, "We are an amazing team and cannot wait for the party after all this, so I can thank them all personally for supporting me." The current number of dressmakers pulling together within the group is over 120, and today's total of scrubs made is 804. They have managed to fulfil the required amount for Mountbatten and 6 care homes and will continue to do so. Special thanks go out to all those who have donated, and a very special thank you to the wonderful sewers.
Chris Kane reading an article from the Isle of Wight County Press. Mystery surrounds Frank James planning application. The future of Frank James Hospital remains even more confused after developers, Charlemagne Estates, denied they had put in a planning application lodged in its name for 2 further homes on the site. The documents accompanying the application stated that the scheme to renovate the iconic East Cowes building would not go ahead without the revenue from the new homes. The heritage statement attached to the plan said, "These proposed additional dwellings are only being sought as a way of generating sufficient funds to complete the refurbishment and conversion works at the main Frank James Hospital building. The current development has stalled due to lack of funds, and without an additional injection of money, the development will not recommence." While the design and access statement says, the development has run out of money and cannot progress. However, a spokesman for Charlemagne Estates said this week that the developer had not made the application, and he believed the receiver appointed after the company had loan repayment problems, Hilco Global, had made the application in its name and without its knowledge. Peter Madden, a former director and now agent for Charlemagne, said the company did have the finances in place to go ahead with the development without the new houses proposed. He said in a statement released today, Wednesday, "I only became aware that a planning application had been submitted by an agent acting on behalf of the receiver to develop part of the property owned by the company and a third party for the construction of 4 new houses very recently, and only learned last Monday that in support of the application, the heritage statement and design and access statement contained representations that were untrue." He added that the suggestion the company had no money to progress the scheme was also untrue. Currently, 2 houses have been permitted by the Isle of Wight Council, but the new application is for a further 2 two-bedroom homes. According to previous planning applications, a total of 19 houses and flats have permission to be built in the hospital and around the site. Isle of Wight Council ward member for East Cowes, Carl Love, however, is opposing the further development and has been asking others to do the same. He said, "The Frank James building requires a developer with deep pockets and putting its restoration at the very centre of the project. There is a lot remaining to be done on this building." Since attention was drawn to the application last week, 18 comments have been made to the Isle of Wight Council's planning department opposing the extra building works. One commenter who lives on the same road as the Grade 2 listed building, Adelaide Grove, said there is already parking difficulties. The access to parking to these new properties would not only reduce parking places, but also with extra houses not having at least 2 spaces each, there would be even more cars trying to park, actually, on the road, they said. Another, also from East Cowes, said the whole approach to the restoration of the hospital has been flawed with errors and bad mistakes, strongly objecting the proposals and urged the planning department to reject the application.
Isle of Wight County Press. Isle of Wight swimmer Joe sets up pool at home to continue training during lockdown. Swimmer Joe Carter has found a way to keep up with his training from the safety of his home in Ryde. Since the pools and gyms have been closed due to coronavirus, Joe, 15, has been busy at home building a gym and installing a pool so he can carry on with his training. Using his savings from birthdays and Christmas, and with the help of families and friends, Joe has managed to put together enough equipment to hopefully maintain his fitness, so that when the time comes he can resume his national level swimming career and be ready for the British Nationals, which he qualified for just before lockdown. Joe said, "Everything happened so suddenly. One week I was competing in a national qualifier in one of the best venues in the world. Then, like everyone else, I was having to stay at home. Swimming is such an important part of my life that my family helped me to create the perfect home training setup. Thanks to all Dad's hard work, our home has been converted into a mini leisure centre." The whole family is involved in Joe's training, with his dad Mike, a coach at Seaclose Swimming Club, keeping an eye on Joe's technique, and older brother Jack acting as lifeguard. Stuart James, Marketing and Innovation Director from Wight, which sponsors Joe through the Talented Athlete scheme, said, "We are really impressed with Joe's home setup and pleased to see he is managing to keep up with his training." Prior to recent events, Joe was a regular traveller with Wight to attend competitions around the country. Like a lot of island athletes, we are proud to assist with travel and are looking forward to welcoming all of our sponsored athletes back on board when sporting events resume. Before lockdown, Joe achieved 6 personal bests from 6 races at the 2020 London Region Spring Meet, a qualifier for the British and English Championships. He returned to the Isle of Wight with 2 golds in 50 and 100 metres freestyle and 2 silvers in 100 metres butterfly and 200 individual medley. Joe has also been selected as a finalist in the 2019 Isle of Wight's Sports Achievement Awards.
This is Howard reading an article from OnTheWight about a government scheme designed to increase the supply of local seafood. Isle of Wight Conservative MP Bob Seeley has welcomed a £1 million grant scheme designed to increase the supply of local seafood during the COVID-19 pandemic. The Domestic Seafood Supply Scheme, announced yesterday by DEFRA and the Marine Management Organisation, is designed to help seafood businesses adapt to changes in the markets caused by COVID-19 by funding changes to their businesses and or infrastructure that will help them to sell their products domestically. The scheme can be used to assist the industry to set up local and regional distribution, such as plant and equipment to help with local fish processing or assets that can be shared at port, such as storage and refrigerated vans. Fisheries Minister Victoria Prentice said, "This new grant scheme, part of a £10 million lifeline for our fisheries sector, will help our fishing industry find new markets for their catch during this challenging time, which has seen falling prices and a downturn in restaurant and export sales. With growing demand for meals at home, we're also looking for innovative ways to help fishermen adapt and be equipped to sell direct to local consumers." Applications are invited from groups of businesses in the fishing, aquaculture and fish processing industries or individual businesses engaged in activities which support the seafood supply chain. Bob Seeley said, "I welcome this support for our seafood businesses on the island. Things have changed quickly for our local businesses in a very short space of time. This fund is there to help them adapt to those changes. I urge all business on the island in the seafood industry to look at this funding pot to see if it can help them. I welcome any feedback." Applications for the new scheme can be made until 11th of May via the government website. As well as this financial support, qualifying seafood businesses may also qualify for other government support. The Marine Management Organisation, MMO, produced a guide of what is available.
This is Sue, reading from the Isle of Wight County Press. Isle of Wight rower scoops International Scholarship and University Award. A student from the Isle of Wight who won a globally competed for rowing scholarship to study in the United States is also to be awarded the university's main sporting awards. Bas Andre, a third-year geography student at Bangor University in Wales, is to study a master's degree in anthropology at Tulsa University with a full rowing scholarship. Bass of Sandown will also be assisted by the Llewellyn Rees Memorial Prize from Bangor University. Individual and team successes have helped to put the club on a sure footing for the future, having brought the club to the attention of Welsh Rowing and securing more coaching guidance for the student coaching-led club. Bass began rowing when aged 16 with Shanklin Sandown Rowing Club. The student's ambition for the next 2 years includes getting selected for the fastest boat team at Tulsa and to improve sufficiently to be eligible to qualify for GB senior trials once the master's degree is completed. The Llewellyn Rees Memorial Award of £750 commemorates the university's Director of Physical Recreation between 1961 to 1972. It is awarded to the student who has made the greatest contribution to raising the profile of sport at Bangor University by his or her achievement at national or international level. Bass chose to study at Bangor because he felt the location was perfect for his geography degree, being so close to the coast and Snowdonia National Park. The islander also wanted to be a part of a smaller, close-knit society rather than a huge university, so Bangor was the ideal choice for him. Part of Bass's consideration was that the university had a rowing team. "I've enjoyed studying and rowing at Bangor immensely," said Bass. "The experiences I've had and the people I've met have shaped my university and future life. Being a member of the rowing team has made me push myself, both physically and mentally, and I've never been able to do it without the support of everyone at the club. Every session was a team effort and I enjoyed them all, even the 5 a.m. winter sessions at the lake. My best memories have been made with the rowing club and I will miss everybody very much when I leave this year. I feel incredibly honoured to have received the Llewellyn Rees Memorial Award. It's an amazing feeling to know my efforts at the rowing club have helped raise the profile of Bangor University, and I'm glad to have been able to give back to the university in this way. I will proudly wear my Bangor kit when I train out in the United States. The money from this award will pay for my flights to Tulsa this August, which will be a great help to me."
This article is from the Isle of Wight County Press and it's read by Terry. Isle of Wight Council launch new exercise tracker for young people. A fun activity tracker has been launched to encourage youngsters to stay healthy and active during the coronavirus lockdown. The I'll Be Active tracker is a simple chart that young people can use to record how much they've walked or cycled as part of their daily exercise allowance. Alec Broom, the Council's Sports Development Officer, said, "This is to encourage children not only to continue with exercise during these unprecedented times, but also to take part in a fun challenge with a potential prize at the end. The tracker can be printed out at home, but if this isn't possible, we are welcoming children to draw their own. We hope parents will find the tracker useful in encouraging their children to stay active while we are in lockdown. It's based on walking and cycling, but youngsters can also use roller boots and scooters as well. Exercise is part of your daily allowance, but remember, stay 2 meters apart. Taking daily exercise can be important for both physical and mental health, but there are a few points to remember before you go out. Do not meet with anybody from outside your household. Do not gather in public areas, especially play parks, skate parks, and other social spaces. If you do encounter other people while outside, you should stay at least 2 meters apart. Always wash your hands as soon as you return home. Once you've completed your chart, send us a picture showing how well you did, to be entered into one of 3 prize draws. Keep an eye on the Council's Facebook page for more information on what you could win. Email your chart to sports.unit@iow.gov.uk. For further information on social distancing while on your daily exercise, please visit the OnTheWight website.
On the Wight. Join Company B and singers from around the Isle of Wight to perform We'll Meet Again. With VE Day coming up, celebrating 75 years since the end of World War II, Company B UK have decided to plan something special for the community. On the Thursday before VE Day, the 7th of May, after the clap for the NHS, the musical trio will attempt to encourage the whole Isle of Wight into song. Harriet from Company B UK explains. We have contacted many amazing singers, bands and performers and have asked them to set up a microphone and speaker on their drive or by their front doors. Then at 8:05 p.m. on Thursday the 7th of May, we will all start to perform the 1940s classic We'll Meet Again by Vera Lynn. They are hoping that members of the public will join in from their drives, gardens, windows or front doors. Put the date in your diary and follow Company B's Facebook page for any updates.
A letter from the section of the County Press, read by Chris. Which of these is more dangerous? From Jill Williams of Queen Bower. I think everybody on the Isle of Wight is grateful we have our beautiful island to walk or cycle on rather than in a city in these difficult times. A friend who lives on his own and suffers from depression escapes from his small flat for a walk and takes a flask of tea with him. When he stopped to have a drink, he was asked to move on by local police, even though he was nowhere near any other people, except the kind officers who stopped to remonstrate with him. Meanwhile, the near-empty roads are now being used as racetracks by some idiots in cars and on motorbikes. Which is the most dangerous to us, do you think?
This is Brian reading a poem from the letters section of the Isle of Wight County Press. Spring's message of hope to us from Taylor Willows, aged 11, of Cowes. As spring separates us from winter cold, a new hope grabs hold. Just as it all unfolds, colours appear white like gold. The trees were so bold, but that now they show what is truly untold. Now a new thing has blossomed. They call it spring, and it's rather solemn. As the flowers flourish in the breeze, a new type of colour loves to deceive. And now here come the bees, but stay away, they tease. You can never please the leaves, because the leaves are the reason that we all breathe. As we continue our journey on a tight rope, think about spring as it spreads a message of hope.
This is Chris Kane reading an article from the Sight for Wight newsletter, Message from the Chairman. I do hope you are all keeping well. All our lives have changed so much over the last few weeks, and we are having to get used to new routines and restrictions. At Sight for Wight, we are dedicated to putting in place new ways of supporting you. Millbrook House and our dress agency Dress for Less are now both closed. The trustees are meeting remotely via conference call facilities. The majority of the staff have been furloughed, leaving a core to answer the telephone. This takes advantage of the government scheme and will save the charity money, especially important now as our fundraising schemes are on hold. The Talking News now has a different format, put together by a small team of trustees working from home and Vectis Radio volunteers. You can access it on Vectis Radio 104.6 FM and on our website iwsb.org.uk. It is being updated on a regular basis. We are very grateful to the Isle of Wight Observer, OnTheWight, and the Isle of Wight County Press for permission to use their articles. All of our new systems of communication have taken a considerable amount of time and research to set up, and I would like to sincerely thank all those involved. If you need to contact us, please telephone 522205. We are still in the process of contacting everyone to find out how we may best support you, listen to any concerns and signpost you, if needed, to the island agencies that can offer help. May I pass on the sincere thanks of myself and the trustees to our marvellous hard-working staff, our valued members and loyal supportive volunteers. Please do keep in touch. We all need to support each other in these difficult times. My best wishes to you all. Sue Bungay, Chair of Trustees.
This article is from the Sight for Wight newsletter. It's a message from the team and it's read by Terry. Hello from the whole team at Sight for Wight. During this difficult time, we have pulled together to write our hello from us all. For the safety of all staff, volunteers and members, we ceased all activities in the middle of March, closed the shop on the 14th of March and closed Millbrook House from the 16th of March. Since then, working from home, we have had one key aim: to call our members and make sure you are safe and well. We gathered together as much information as we could, a challenge in itself as it seemed to change on a daily basis, and we began to call everyone. We have been told some amazing stories by people and gathered lots of helpful hints on what we can do for you when things return to normal. It became clear to us very quickly that, as it had been a few years since we last conducted a members' survey in 2017, now would be a good time to complete another one, to ensure that we are meeting your needs and to help plan our future activities. So, as we have been phoning members to check you are safe, have access to medication and food supplies, and give out information on all the help the Isle of Wight is offering, we have also started asking people to complete the short survey at the same time. If you haven't had a call yet, then you will probably get one in the next couple of weeks. It may be from Laura, Sue or Lisa, and we are also asking current volunteers to make calls on our behalf so we can contact as many people as quickly as possible. We also decided to expand the survey outside of current members to the whole Isle of Wight visually impaired community. You may find the survey posted on Facebook groups, websites and advertised on local radio. The survey link is https://www.surveymonkey, all one word, .co.uk/R/Sight for Wight, all one word. If you would like a copy of the questions emailed to you, or a large print version posted to you, please let us know. Braille copies will also be available once Millbrook House has reopened. The results of the survey will be reported back to members in due course. Most of us are now not actively working because we have to plan for the long-term future of the charity. Instead, we are furloughed workers, a phrase you may have heard which means our employment is on hold. But the phone will still be answered and the remaining members of staff will continue to make calls. We very much look forward to things returning to normal and all of us back at work. But until then, stay safe, stay at home. And that, as I say, is from the staff at Sight for Wight.
Sight for Wight newsletter, read by Chris. Low Vision exhibition. Unfortunately, the Low Vision exhibition, which was due to take place on Saturday the 21st of March, had to be postponed. We will be rescheduling the event for a date to be confirmed in the future. Transport Working Party report. Due to COVID-19, this report has been put on hold for the time being. Members Forum dates. The scheduled Members Forum for April has been cancelled. However, at the time of going to print, we intend to hold the next forums on Wednesday the 22nd of July 2020 and Wednesday the 28th of October 2020, both from 11:30 a.m. till 1 p.m. To be added to the list for the forum updates, including agenda, location, etc., please email members at iwsb.org.uk.
This is Howard reading an item from the Sight for Wight newsletter. It's a letter from the Chair of Trustees, Sue Bungay. After 3 years at Sight for Wight, the Isle of Wight Society for the Blind, Chief Executive Miriam Tong is leaving to pursue other interests. Isle of Wight Society for the Blind wishes her all the best for her future. In the light of Miriam's departure, we're excited to announce the appointment of our new interim CEO, who will be known to many of you already. That's Lisa Holyhead. Lisa joined the charity in January 2018 as our finance officer, and during her 2 years with us has made huge strides forward in her role. So we're delighted she's accepted this interim role whilst we advertise for Miriam's successor as CEO. Lisa, herself registered severely sight impaired since birth, is a qualified chartered accountant, and having run her own 2 Isle of Wight businesses, we know she will prove a great asset to the charity.
The Royal Victoria Yacht Club. Unfortunately, the Royal Victoria Yacht Club Open Day has been cancelled for 2020. However, a new date for 2021 has been set as the 10th of July 2021. That's something to look forward to.
This is Brian reading an article from the Sight for Wight newsletter. Forgotten Wrecks of the First World War. In February 2020, the Thursday Social Group were invited to take part in an educational session with the Maritime Archaeology Trust, a registered charity with over 25 years' experience in research, investigations and pioneering techniques for the study of marine cultural heritage. Their project, Forgotten Wrecks of the First World War, is a heritage lottery funded project to coincide with the centenary of the Great War. Many historic remains from the war lie largely forgotten in and around our seas, rivers and estuaries, and have been degrading and deteriorating due to natural and human processes for approximately 100 years. The Maritime Archaeology Trust is transforming this information into educational resources to provide talks and education sessions. The Thursday Social Group really enjoyed the session. It was informative and also included a hands-on section where they were able to feel and handle artifacts that had been found in the excavations. Parts of vessels included portholes, nautical equipment, crockery and shells. Audio recordings were played out, taken from real-life letters sent during that time. Some of the letters were quite moving and gave a real sense of what life was like. Thank you to the Maritime Archaeology Trust for a really interesting visit. If you want further information on the Forgotten Wrecks of the First World War project or other work that they do, please visit their website at www.maritimearchaeologytrust.org.
Alison Holbrook, reading from the Sight for Wight newsletter. Talking News Update. It is with great regret that after 44 years of recording and posting out the talking news on a weekly basis, we have had to temporarily stop the usual format due to the coronavirus and the risks posed with sending plastic packaging into people's homes. However, we were determined to find a way to continue the weekly broadcast. Using technology, volunteers and trustees are able to remotely record the programme, and it will be available to listen to in two ways. Firstly, on our website after 4 p.m. on a Friday. It can be found at www.talking-newspaper-2/. Secondly, our friends at Vectis Radio 104.6 FM have always been great supporters of Sight for Wight. They have kindly offered us a weekly slot on a Saturday afternoon between 3 p.m. and 4 p.m. to broadcast the talking news programme across the airwaves. This will then be repeated on a Tuesday evening at 6 p.m. Normal service will resume as soon as possible, but we hope that these options will enable members to access the talking news programme in the meantime. Many thanks to the Isle of Wight Observer, OnTheWight, and the Isle of Wight County Press for giving their kind permission for us to read their stories.
This is Sue from Sight for Wight newsletter 100 Club. Did you know we run our own monthly lottery draw? It's just £2 per month per number. Could 2 or 99, which are both available, be your lucky number? If you wish to join to have a chance of winning our monthly prize, please call 522205 or email Lisa on finance@iwsb.org.uk. The more people who join, the bigger the monthly prize. Congratulations to our recent winners, including Caroline Gentry, Joyce Downer, Mary Cranshaw, Sue Rutherford, Chris Amy, Audrey Lewis and John Lockley. And a big hello and welcome to our new members.
This is Den, Sight for Wight newsletter, Dress for Less. All of us at Dress for Less hope that you are all safe and well at this difficult time. The shop closed its doors on Saturday the 14th of March, and we do not yet have a date as to when we can reopen. Due to further restrictions, we have also ceased our eBay sales to prevent unnecessary travel to the shop and post office. March saw the launch of our very own Dress for Less loyalty scheme. Once you have registered onto the scheme, you receive your own loyalty card, and each time you spend £5 you receive a stamp on your card. Fill your card with 5 stamps and on your next shop receive a £5 discount. Also, as a member, you get a text message telling you in advance about one-off sales and events. Plus, you will be invited to free coffee at the shop on selected days, when there will also be one-off sales. So when we reopen, don't forget to pick up a card. The shop being closed doesn't stop us planning for the future. We will be holding another fashion evening when we reopen with all the latest summer clothes for you to look at. We are also looking at expanding our eBay sales into an eBay shop so you can look at selected dresses from the comfort of your own home. A big thank you to all our volunteers who are all keeping in touch with each other and chomping at the bit to come back. Take care, and we hope to see you when we reopen. From all the team at Dress for Less.
Sight for Wight would like to thank you for listening to this week's edition of the Talking News. We would also like to thank our volunteers for reading, and a particular thank you to the Isle of Wight County Press and OnTheWight. A special thank you must go to Vectis Radio, who has helped us get vital information to our members. Stay safe.